But the quorum set at 3 is not in statute.
Yes.
It's not in that section, 24 VSA.
It's in a different section, but it is in statute.
The tax appeals, they have to be done
In
in a timely manner.
It's 3 so that an inspection team is essentially a meeting of the board.
Right.
For elections, it's 1. You can actually conduct, one single member of the Board of Civil Authority can conduct election business at the polls, if that's all you got.
Do they have a chart? Do they have like a chart, like an Excel spreadsheet telling them how many members you need?
Cheryl's created she's got a quorum thing. I didn't print it off. Yeah.
Carol?
Yeah.
In any of the trainings I've ever been, and I see no mention in this, the default, if you will, decision of the board, if there is no presentation, it's the assessor who's given deference if it's even money in terms of.
It's in here.
It is in here?
Yeah,
Okay, I
it's
was
in here.
looking for
The burden of proof is on the appellant.
it. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, but that's what which section is it in? I looked and I thought, oh geez, that's odd.
It's in the
It's the responsibility
information.
to present evidence.
On the information.
Yeah, it's on the information sheet.
At the start, on the back, start of the back side.
Remember, under the law, you bear the burden of persuasion. You must persuade the BCA that the totality of this is addressed to the
Oh, okay.
to the
got it.
appellant. Yeah.
I just thought it was equivalent of a procedure, but it's not on the procedure sheet, it's on the information sheet.
Right, because the information sheet is directed specifically to the appellants.
Oh, okay.
So it's kind of to call their attention to what their rights and responsibilities are.
Okay. I just wonder how many of our colleagues actually know that the default is with the assessor.
Yeah. No.
So I think, do you know anything about this camera? I do not.
What are you trying to do?
I mean, it's on, correct?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah,
I
the
just don't
only-
understand why
the-
we can't see. number
because see the lower left-hand corner of the video, it's got a red line through it?
Yeah, but I can't do anything with it. I hit it, and it says Zoom is unable to
Is
detect.
the camera on?
Oh, my guess is that either the camera isn't on or it isn't plugged in.
Chris's door was still open. Do you want me to see if he's still here?
Sure. There's a power button. You see the power button?
I can hear you. I can't see you. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, hey, Amanda, you can't see us, right?
Correct.
Yeah, we're just trying to figure out, Zoom says it can't recognize the camera. I wonder if it's not, let's see here. So
I can hear you just fine though.
Yeah.
This is that power button, but I wonder.
Just looking to see, normally,
Okay, it's plugged in. Is this, oh wait, this might not be on. Let's try that.
The power strip wasn't on.
because the sound isn't
Oh.
coming out of the owl, it's coming out of the TV.
The eyes are blinking at me, so.
So it's
I think
warming up.
warming up. The power strip's off.
Okay.
I think we're gonna be in business in a minute. I hope.
get in. Cheryl was.
Just
Who is it?
admit-
Do we know?
Oh, there's the ologist who did us. Yep. The power strip was off. We figured it out.
There we go. Okay, who's LKM?
Who's okay?
That's my dad.
Oh, we'll let you in, Larry.
Check the audio settings to make sure that the owl is selected.
Is it the owl?
Or actually, the owl for the video, which is obvious.
I can't read it from here,
And the
so.
microphone is the Scarlett, which
Okay, so put it down.
is the third one. Because I assume you want.
Yeah, we're gonna use these. You're in the dark, Larry.
Oh,
That's not a metaphor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Since I'm not on this
Oh,
list,
it's in-
justice of the peace,
No,
That's an old one.
that's an old one. I don't know why I printed that one for
Okay.
today,
Alright,
but
just
yeah.
wanna make
The
sure
one that
I'm
was attached to the email.
inappropriately considered.
Yes, the one that was attached to the email. This one I just tried to
Okay.
print out just now and back in the time. All right, so everybody
right.
online can hear us, can see us.
We're going to call this meeting to order. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 members out of 21. So that's not a great turnout,
No.
but. So the first thing is, we have to approve the minutes of the February 6th and May 7th meetings. And they were sent around, the minutes were sent around. Do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? I didn't hear you, Amanda, but your square turned green and you turned your microphone on, so
Yeah, I
took that.
Can you hear me though?
yes,
we can.
Good eye.
okay. And then we've got the minutes of the August 6th meeting.
I sent those out this afternoon.
Okay, I don't have a copy of those, but do we have a motion to approve?
Yes, so moved.
Second?
Second.
Thank you.
Can we just clarify the date of the minutes that were approved at that meeting? It says
Yes, so,
minutes of August 6, 2025 were approved at the August 6,
Right, yeah.
2026
yep,
meeting.
okay, that's my clerical error. I will correct that.
So I'm not sure what the date of those.
I know
minutes
that the
were.
February minutes were on the agenda for that meeting, but since we hadn't
Right.
seen them, that's why they
Right.
were.
Exactly, so,
So do we know if any minutes were approved at that meeting? Because would the minutes from the 5/7,
the 5/7 minutes would have been to approve the February minutes, but I hadn't looked back at the February minutes to see that they had been deferred, so we need to approve all of the minutes from February, May,
and August?
and August 6th.
Okay,
Well, we just approved,
so we've already done February and May, and now we're considering August 6, 2026, and we've made sure that the correct dates are on the minutes, correct? You said that there was,
It was just in the minutes.
it says in the minutes from August 6 that there was a motion to approve minutes from August 6 of 2025.
Right, it should be 2026 is what I'm saying, is I need
Well,
to correct.
you can't be approving minutes of a meeting.
that you're in the middle of.
That you're in the middle of.
No, we're in the middle of August, this is the
No,
18th.
but those were the minutes from the August 6th meeting, right?
The minutes of the August 6 meeting say we approve the minutes of the
Oh,
August
yes, okay,
6th
sorry.
meeting.
Okay, yep. Okay, so I will
But
correct that.
I was late to that meeting, so I don't
Yes,
know if
right, yes.
any minutes were actually approved at that meeting.
The minutes of May 7th were approved at that meeting.
So why did we
Or
just approve them? I mean, it doesn't do us any harm to approve them twice, but,
Right, because they had to be, because within the minutes of those May minutes,
oh,
we were
Okay.
approving,
minutes that hadn't been approved yet.
correct.
Okay, all right.
So we're approving.
So we have a motion to approve the corrected August 6th, 2026 meeting minutes. Any additional comment? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Now, reviewing the assessment grievance requests, policies, et cetera. Cheryl sent around the list of requests that we have received. She also sent around the information handout, the rules of procedure, which
Yeah,
we've used in the past to send to appellants, along with the notification of the meetings so that they have information. So, let's actually look through the information handout first. The last time it was ratified was September of '23. There were no hearings in '24 or '25, which is likely why it wasn't considered until now. So we need to update or any suggestions for changes. I would say it still has my email address at the top.
yep, okay.
And obviously the names of the BCA members need to be updated. Were there any other changes or corrections that people would like to see?
There are 15 copies, still adequate?
It is, we probably, I mean, we like to make sure that we have enough so that if we're sitting
present,
here,
yeah.
people have a hard copy of what is being discussed. If we get them in advance and we can get them out to everybody electronically, but a lot of people.
That would be my other
Suggestion is
correction or
adding-
worry. We treat Zooming as equivalent to physically being here
Yes.
for all respects.
Yeah.
And that means that the people who are Zooming also need copies sent ahead of the meeting to them.
Well, everybody gets all appellants get hard copies
Sent to them?
sent to them
Oh, okay.
of the schedules, this information sheet, the procedures.
Okay.
They all get mailed out to all the appellants in advance.
Yeah, but I'm thinking about the material that the appellants want to present, and how would the Zoomers essentially?
They would have to send it in advance.
Okay, I
Yeah,
wasn't sure that it says to the appellants, by the way, you have to be sure any evidence you want seriously considered
Yeah.
has to be delivered either electronically or physically.
Prior to the meeting,
Or
so,
both.
so I can scan them and get them out to,
Yeah,
yeah.
because otherwise people would be voting essentially without the benefit of the submissions.
Well, and we do, there are times where people have brought one copy of something, and it gets turned in to the clerk as the official evidence,
Yeah.
and then the clerk makes, scans it and emails it out to the body.
Okay,
Because we don't close evidence
I know we're
until after the report of the inspection team.
team,
So,
yeah.
So
And
as
that's
long
the
as.
other thing, I think we clarified that technically, until the report of the inspection team, well, maybe I'm misspeaking, we ought to clarify whether or not any material can additionally be submitted after the appellant appears before us. That is, between the time of the appearance and the site visit and/or deliberation.
Yeah, I do know that we have specified in here that they can, we had gone back and forth about whether an appellant could speak at the inspection report, and we had said, yes, there can be an opportunity for last comments from the assessor, from the appellant. As far as materials are concerned, we could adopt, in this case, we can adopt what we want. Do we want to allow them to submit materials outside of the actual hearings? And, or do we want to,
Just a question about what you just said about providing more information at the inspection.
That's not what I said.
Okay, I misunderstood you then and wanted.
If, as an example, we've had instances where somebody during their initial hearing has said, I have a copy of X at home that I'd like you all to see, but they didn't bring it with them that night. So if we say to them, okay, you can turn it into the clerk, later this week, and we will scan it and send it around to everybody, because we now know that it's coming.
Yeah.
But if they, at the inspection team, report, at the inspection, if they said, ooh, I also want you to have this, that you can't.
That's what I was going to say. As far as I'm concerned, as soon as we convene for the inspection reports, the curtain has fallen for the acceptance of any new information.
And any new information should come through the clerk, so that it's distributed to the entire
To
body.
be then circulated.
Are we gonna change this? Are we looking at number 9? Is that what we're looking at, the evidence?
Well, we're looking at the information handout at the moment.
Oh, sorry, I'm looking at rules of procedure.
Yeah. On the first side of the information handout, next to the last paragraph, talks about numbers of copies and providing them and et cetera, so.
Can we change that though? Instead of saying you should bring 15 copies, you should submit your documents.
Well, I know quite a few people on the list that don't have that computer access to scan anything to me.
Right.
Well, no, I'm not saying they even have to, but if they can provide it by, let's say we're gonna meet on a Monday, if they can provide it by Friday, you could scan it and get it, or Thursday, and then you could scan it on Friday and get it out to us. I'm thinking like if they could come and deliver it to you.
Yes,
then you could
absolutely,
scan it and-
yeah.
Because if some people don't have access.
Yeah,
to
the
that.
key is
But
that you've
then-
got it in time to circulate.
Right, and then every person at that meeting would have to have their electronic form in front of them or have printed it out themselves.
Right.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I think to
Yeah.
Carol's point, or to Peter's point, if someone's, like Amanda zooms in, if we don't send it ahead of time.
Right.
Whoever's on Zoom is not gonna
Yeah.
have access to anything.
Well, and they're not, if somebody brings, I don't think you can tell somebody you can't bring something in person.
Well, no, I'm not saying that, but we should maybe encourage them to submit
Strongly
their,
suggest.
their evidence at least a couple of days ahead of time.
I
If they
think
can.
it's simpler, it's better if you just say, any material that is not available to be reproduced and circulated before the visitation report meeting cannot be considered.
No, we're talking about two different things here.
Sorry.
Yeah, we're talking about, for the initial hearing,
Yeah,
okay, what we have right now in place is please bring 15 hard copies.
yep.
Okay, if you have an opportunity, and this is in here, if you have an opportunity to provide it in advance, we will digitize it, we will provide it to the full body. But what we're talking about is creating more of an expectation that they will provide things electronically or early enough that we can create an electronic version and send it out. Essentially encouraging them to do that in advance. But we need to still give them the opportunity to provide hard copies, I think, that we still need to. And if someone's participating by Zoom, they're not gonna have the opportunity during that hearing to have a hard copy. I mean, it can get scanned and sent to them afterwards. Of course, we're still 30 days from deliberation,
Yeah,
so
you're right,
they-
I was just focusing on when the
Right.
evidentiary consideration
yeah.
boom falls.
Can the appellant zoom in?
Yeah.
Okay, so they would definitely have to have sent it ahead of time for anybody to see it.
Yeah.
They're sitting at home with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if we reworked this so that it said you should bring 15 copies or send them, make it,
Or have sent them, you know.
yeah, and you definitely want to, I can't tell you how many times people would show up for their hearing and expect me to scan and email 27 pages of documents in the moment. Ain't gonna happen. You know, you need at least,
Oh, I've had people ask me to make copies right then and there for them.
Yeah.
Paper copies, 15, it's like, we can't do that, right?
Yeah. you know, you need like at least 48 business hours to create, create the electronic documents and get them out.
Yeah. Okay, so that.
I mean, it does, you know, the last paragraph there says you are encouraged, though not required, to submit a summary and any evidentiary documents prior to your hearing.
Could you just bold that statement?
Yeah, we could bold it.
Should we also make it very obvious if you're planning to not show up in person, you must send them, you must either drop them off
Right.
or email them?
You can't require it. You can't require them to attend, you
will-
can't require
No,
them
no,
to
say tell
provide
them
it would help.
documentation.
If you're,
I mean-
if you're going to
Zoom.
If you're going,
zoom in
yeah,
and.
and
they
you
were gonna-
plan on providing documentation, it must be received in advance.
Yeah, because otherwise, obviously, we're not gonna.
Because we're not gonna share screen
Right.
and look at your documentation.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I know
So
that
we'll-
seems obvious to
we'll
us,
work
but I
on
just worry
rewording
about
that.
someone not really thinking that through.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I have all my stuff. You're zooming in.
Okay, Cheryl and I will work on that. Any other comments with regards to the information handout? I'm looking at the screen just to make sure I don't miss anything that
I mean, this-
Amanda or Larry has to say.
Yeah, I mean, this next paragraph
I will
pretty much.
speak up if I have anything, but nothing.
Okay. Thanks, yeah, don't stand on ceremony by raising hands or anything, so,
Just pipe in.
I won't. And with apologies, the reason I'm on Zoom is that I have to leave at 1:15 for a medical appointment, so I will just sneak out when I'm ready.
okay. All right, we won't take it personally. So what were you talking, yeah, the next paragraph talks about how it's, the burden of proof is on them, on the
Yeah.
appellant, so. And it does, like, the fourth paragraph down talks about how, you know, people can submit their appeal, but they don't have to show up, but we still have to go through the process.
The only thing I think was already covered is that you added the list of JPs and an updated list.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
We already
Yeah.
did that.
Yeah. Okay, Cheryl and I will work on getting that updated. We will, looking through the actual rules of procedure, we will carry over any similar language in there with regards to digital copies, number of copies, all that kind of stuff, so. And perhaps what we should do is actually write a section that's specific to Zoom participation. So.
Yep, yep, that's a good idea.
Okay, so the rules of procedure, This basically is our how-to. It's the, the schedule of how things actually go. So, I think that one of the suggestions I had in item number 2, open meeting law, I would change it so it says all hearings will be recorded as opposed to audio taped, because we used to just
Oh, yeah.
do audio. So, change it to recorded. And then the next sentence, draft meeting minutes will be available in the clerk's office and online.
And online.
Now, Peter, I don't know if you want to get into a discussion with the group about the quorum language,
I
or
think it's late in the day, I just, I'd give.
we can do a little research just for our own edification.
I'll
and
call the league just out of curiosity and see if they've been asked and answered that question heretofore.
I mean, I took a day-long workshop from them a month ago specifically on this, and they hammered the 3 quorum.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So it may well be.
We don't have any, I don't know if you looked through the list of appeal requests, but we don't have anybody on there that is a BCA member, so we don't have to worry about people being conflicted out for the whole list. The statute says that if you are party to an appeal, you can't hear any appeals for the year, so, but we don't have anybody. We may have some people who find that they need to recuse themselves.
Personal interest.
Or whatever,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
sanguinity, or whatever, there may be reasons, but otherwise we shouldn't, hopefully we won't have a lot of
Yeah.
recusals.
And on the first part of the procedure, the where, that might be a good place to put in some Zoom information. It says they will be held at City Hall or.
Yeah,
If I remember, once upon a time, we adopted a standard form for the site team to
Yes.
use to report.
Yeah.
But there's no reference in here to it, I just.
no, but
Okay.
yeah, but there's a
Good
form,
to circulate it.
yeah,
In addition to the informational material, so people who are asked to chair the site visit have some idea as to what they're agreeing to
yeah.
in terms of the report.
Yeah, it does under number 14 where it talks about the site visit report, it talks about what is included, but it doesn't say,
Okay.
please use the
Yeah,
form as,
I think it should,
Yeah.
so it's really standard. When you collect all those, they all look the same.
Yeah.
Follow the format.
yeah, exactly. Is there anything else with regards to the rules of procedure? Any other changes, edits? Again, Cheryl and I will tweak it a little bit, so.
Great.
Okay. Good. These have been very helpful. I know from having talked to appellants over the years that having this kind of, if they read it, it's helpful, so. Sometimes not so much. I don't do a lot of reading. All right, so the next thing on our agenda is to review the list and schedule hearing dates. This is, during my tenure, this is the longest list we've ever had, but of course it's because we just did a citywide reassessment, so.
Is this the entire list? Is the
Yes.
deadline passed?
Yeah, yeah, the deadline was last week, so.
If I can just jump in briefly and say that it is long, but it's actually shorter than I was afraid of, which is due credit to our assessors for having good conversations with folks and helping them to understand the process. So
Yeah.
this is, it's a lot of work, but it's longer.
Yeah, and if you talk with them about, how many of the informational hearings they had, and then what percentage of those turned into actual grievance hearings, and then what percentage of those, this represents 15% of the grievance hearings. So, that to me is pretty good numbers as far as,
I would
the
say-
results.
Oliver Twombly is 17 of our
Yeah.
42.
Yeah, you counting the Hushieri properties too?
Yes, he
Yeah.
represents that.
So, I think because we tend to allow about 15 minutes per hearing, it's a little hard to do more than, say, 8 in a night. That's 2 hours, assuming we manage to keep things on track. So what I would suggest is that we look at we take all the ones that involve Oliver, all the ones that are specifically his property, and then the 3 that he is serving as the representative for Richard Hushieri, and split them in 2. That would, I think, be 9 per.
We took a look at them by property type,
Yeah.
to see if we could break it out into some groups, if that would be helpful.
I don't know.
Um,
The only reason that I say there's some value in doing it by appellant is that if you look through the procedure, there is an orientation for every
Right.
appellant.
yeah.
And so if you're doing an appellant, one person, then you only have to do the orientation once, and, obviously you can squeeze a lot more.
But even if she was to break down just Oliver's, like just his commercial property.
Yeah, I mean, if we
his
were gonna.
apartment houses, and then his personal property,
Yeah.
I just put this together because Cheryl asked us to look at it.
Yeah,
So I talked to Matt, and he suggested we start with the single families because it's easier with the program and everything that we do.
do you care about that?
I think
Care about you?
in terms of the timing of everything, I also think the single families, most people are most familiar with single family homes, so it might be a good place to start to learn the procedure.
So how many, there's just those 5?
Well, this would be 5 for the first meeting, and then another 6 for the second meeting, depending on how many you wanted to do a night.
I don't think 5 is enough.
Could we
I think
could
we
we
should
squeeze
look at-
another 3 more?
Yeah, we could move people over.
Is that all of the single family those, between the 2? Between those 2, the 11?
No, there's some more over here. There's a couple condos, and then there's a few 2 families that 2 families are kind of like somewhat similar to single families in a sense. They're residential 1 properties. Same with the condos. So we could push all of these into probably split it
Into
that
2
way.
meetings?
Yeah, if you wanted. I also split these by neighborhood because the inspection teams would have to go to these neighborhoods.
It's not all the same inspection. team.
Okay.
I mean, we don't know what it'll be for
Yeah,
inspection
yeah.
teams, but it's not, yeah.
These properties
So-
are generally in the same area of the city as each other. I don't know.
Yeah, and the other thing you gotta remember is that the inspection teams are essentially volunteers.
Yeah.
So it's, mostly evenings or weekends, or it's different than the inspections that, the appraisers were doing or that you guys do. So, it's a slightly different animal, so what do people think about the idea of doing sort of categories of properties?
My thought was if someone was listening to a hearing or something going on that was similar to their house, it would kind of give them insight of what questions they might want to ask that they hadn't thought of, but the person in front of them has asked, or give them maybe a clue as to okay, now this makes sense because they're getting the answers that person might be asking the same question. If it's a single family home, they might be asking the exact same questions, and then Carly and Larry are giving them information that it didn't make sense when they first heard it, but this time it is making sense and it's applicable to them.
So
I
what
don't-
properties are single-family homes?
That will be, we have 6 French, 1 Belvedere.
Wait, okay, so your list is completely different order than our list.
Sure.
Okay, so that Brent Fisher, yeah. What was the other? Oh,
1 Belvedere,
yeah, that's Martin Prevost, yeah,
18 Spring,
yeah,
122 Tremont,
yeah, that's on the back page, yeah,
1 Aiken,
yeah,
44 Cassie,
yeah.
35 Palmisano Plaza, 30 Lawrence.
Which Cassie, 44, did you say?
Yep. That's
Pierce.
Pierce.
Mhm.
And
You said 35?
after 44 Cassie was,
35 Palmisano Plaza.
Mm-hmm,
And then you got 30 Lawrence, which is Steve Cook. And then 6 Upland,
what's the last name on that one?
Home. She's at the beginning.
Oh,
there.
yeah,
And then 26 Maplewood Ave. Then 31 Woodland Drive, which is also at the beginning. 174 Merchant Street, that's the next one.
Is that single family?
I believe so, I think.
174 Merchant, I wanna say that's an apartment, but,
Yeah, I think it's,
Two.
yeah, because
I don't know if it's a duplex or if it's like just a house that's rented, like a full house.
it is,
He doesn't live there.
no, Ristelli, he lives on
he lives in
Pond,
your neck of the woods.
He lives
Yeah.
in-
It's a single family for sure.
Okay,
okay.
so it must be that whole house.
73 Park is a single
Of the
family.
single-family residents are usually like one name and one address of the same person. In other words, if someone has 2 addresses there, it's likely rental property.
Mhm.
What John said, let me ask more pointedly, by single family, definitionally, do you mean owner occupied?
Not
No.
necessarily.
It means
It's,
it's one
Because
living
the
unit.
sets of questions differ if
Right.
somebody is owning it as opposed to
yeah,
paying
it's
rent.
from a zoning standpoint. So it's, right, it's not,
No, it's a valuation question.
yeah, no, I agree, but I mean, that's how you are defining single family.
Yeah,
Well, yeah,
there's
but
one dwelling
Our
unit.
zoning non-conforming is
Yeah.
like legion.
As in, a tenant would not be an appellant in any case.
No.
Because it's not the tenant who's
Right.
responsible for taxes.
Right,
So if it's like one entry,
The single
And one
families
address?
could be occupied by a tenant who's renting the whole house.
Yeah.
But essentially, it's, like a single dwelling unit, so it's usually got 1 kitchen, just 1 or 2 bathrooms, it's all occupied by
one individual or
one
one family.
family, yeah.
But regardless, a tenant would never be an appellant.
Right.
okay, Carly, what was after 174 Merchant?
After 174 Merchant, 73 Park,
Yeah.
and then 99 Nelson. And then we've got 2
All last of all of ours.
Oh,
condos.
Can you hear me?
Yep,
Yes.
go ahead.
I was just going to say there's a couple other, I made the list out. There were a couple of small single families too that Oliver owns, 114 Summer, 116 Summer, 156 South Main, and 158 South Main. But I kind of grouped them separate on our list, Carly, because I thought they would be their investment properties, and if we wanted to have him come in at one time.
right.
And then also, Sue Kelly has 4 properties she's appealed, and there's one at 7 Hoss Place, which is a single family, I think, too.
in 5 Second Street, we do have that listed as a 3-family, but it is a shell.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
there's
and it's
not-
been vacant for
Yeah,
10 years.
there's not actually like a kitchen or anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's 2 condos?
Yeah,
The two, yeah.
The Fectos.
Milky and Major.
Yeah.
I think even if we consider breaking things down by category, I still think that we should do anything related to Oliver and
Separately.
get it out of the way. You know, do them over 2, because there's too many to do in one hearing. I would pluck all of them out and do them in 2 days.
Okay.
Does that make sense? We have to also understand that while we have Carly and Larry here, they're not representing the city in this instance. Okay, they are the other side. We are the judge and jury, and it's the appellant versus the assessors. So,
The contract that the city has with Matt, who did the reappraisal, does allow him a certain number of on-site hours for appeals.
yeah,
So he is, when I talked to him today, he was planning on helping with some of Oliver's. I don't know, doing all 17 in 2 rounds, you would do like 10 in one day and 7 the next day?
9 and 9 or
9
something.
and 9?
Mhm.
Okay.
I'm counting 18.
18 for Oliver? That could be
Yeah, so it's 9 and 9.
9 and 9.
Who is speaking for the city then?
Well, there isn't anybody representing the city because it's the assessor versus the appellants, and we're sitting in judgment.
We're just the jury.
Basically. So the city has no standing in this particular, believe me, I've been down this road
Okay.
with
Well, the city would
PVR
have a
and with,
conflict of interest, they want to.
you know,
There
so.
may well arise some informational questions about the list and the card, and somebody has to essentially
Yeah.
explore that in
Well,
response to that question.
those are questions that can go to, I mean, it's evidence that we would hope the assessor would provide or that we would ask for,
Okay,
you know.
I just,
Yeah,
because by statute, the city has to have an assessor, there must
Right.
be somebody who speaks for the city.
I have, yeah.
I know.
I've been down this
I
road.
don't mean to.
Yeah.
To
No,
put more burden on that person, but, informational questions especially.
Yeah.
And frankly, they may come from an appellant, not necessarily a board member.
So if we looked at doing all of the ones that are associated with Oliver over 2 dates.
Okay, yep.
That leaves us with what, 30 approximately for the others?
Approximately 30.
I'm not sure it's practical, but given that Oliver has got such a big chunk, do we have to stick to evenings, or would that be, because Oliver doesn't have a day job. I'm just wondering whether or not a couple of marathon sessions needn't be restricted to 5 to 7 at night.
Well, we also don't have to stick with weekdays.
Yeah,
I
okay.
mean, we did abatements. You may recall, we did like a 6-hour abatement chunk following the floods
Yeah,
on a Saturday.
okay, you got the idea
Which
there.
was very helpful,
Yeah,
actually.
yeah,
to,
okay.
You know,
Just so long as we don't do only evenings, if it's practicable.
it's certainly an option. But, so if we did Oliver's over 2 dates at 9 apiece, And then that leaves us with 30, and we did, 7, 7, 8, 8. That gets us, so that gets us everything in 4 days. 6 days.
6 days, yeah.
6 days.
Yeah. Of course, there is a time limit
Oh, yeah.
between the presentation and the tendering of the site visit, no?
Yes,
So if the presentations are densely scheduled, so also are the site teams
right,
densely.
right.
I just worry that, I just be sure we don't run into trouble with being able to have the site reports in a timely manner, if they all have to come within 3 or 4 days of each other.
No, I know. So it becomes a question of, do we try to lump things together, or do we really stretch things out?
I'm in favor of lumping, I just want to be sure
Yeah.
that the site teams actually deliver
Yeah.
within the statutory time.
Yeah, yeah, and that certainly is the danger. We've got 48 groups of 3 that have to go out and inspect properties and write a report and, then present it back, so.
15 days, yeah.
30,
Or is it 30?
yeah.
This might seem like a silly question, but more people will show up for the hearings, right?
We certainly hope so.
Because for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of us, 6 of us to do all of this work is
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
Considering there's 21 of us or something?
Yeah.
Okay. So we should probably make sure the rest of the people that we know are showing up and participating.
Exactly.
So we can spread the
Yep.
work
Yep.
around.
Absolutely.
Okay. Spread it.
Yeah.
Okay.
As far as the site teams go, is that 3 people who are gonna be a group and go to several different properties, or is it gonna be whatever 3 people are available or don't have a conflict, or?
We, at the end of the first hearing, we name a inspection team. Generally, what that means is that we ask for volunteers who would like to be on the inspection team for this property. In this instance, we may ask for, as an example with Oliver's properties, we may ask for, an inspection team to look at 4 properties, or, rather than naming a whole bunch of individual inspection teams. But basically, it's a group of 3 people who have to go inspect the property and then write up the inspection report and present it back within 30 days. So.
And there's no, I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say, is there like a form that, like, what we should be looking for?
There is a form that talks about, yes, there is.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's in the folder.
Definitely.
And then is there an advantage or disadvantage, or is there anything about, let's say you have the same inspection team going out to look at every single one of Oliver's properties, is that like a good thing or a bad thing? Or you try to not do that because?
I don't think that it's, one of the things that we did away with was inspection teams used to come back with recommendations, which we did away with because it's not it's not a group of 3's decision.
Right.
So it really is nuts and bolts, what's the address? What time were you there? Who was there? What did you see? What's the building consists of a kitchen, 1 bathroom, 1 half bathroom, 3 bedrooms, a finished basement, an unfinished attic. It's really rudimentary. And then the most subjective thing that goes on those reports is, condition and highest and best use, is pretty much the most subjective kind of
And I think most of these people, that's what they're going to be basing it on, is the condition. I mean, it's obvious if you have 3 bedrooms and 2 baths, that's obvious, but they're fighting, well, my house, it's falling apart here and this is falling apart. So I think that's going to be the hardest part. Because I think a lot of people are basing it on that. Like, my house isn't as pristine as that other house. Yes, we both have the same number of bedrooms, bathrooms, but my house is 60 years old versus theirs is 20. And
Right. Okay. I didn't know if there was.
And of course, one of the biggest challenges is you can't have any of that discussion at the inspection.
You're just taking notes?
Yeah.
Okay. And then do you write a report that those 3 people that go to do that inspection, do they sit down together to write the report?
Usually what happens is one person writes the report and then shares it with the others to make sure everybody agrees with what's captured, and then at least 2 of them have to sign the report.
Okay.
So.
so during that inspection, if there's only one person writing information, how do the other 2 relay information to that one writing it without the person listening to what you're saying, or?
Oh, you
can discuss amongst us?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
It's just, the property owner can't say, oh, I want to show you this thing.
Let me lift the carpet and.
Right, or I want to show you this thing in this back bedroom that I forgot to mention at the hearing, or that it's really just observing the property, not entering into a discussion about it. So, yeah, Peter.
Could I, just to field this conundrum where I found it, so for purposes of commercial property, and I'm not using that in the zoning sense, but rather in the own it for income sense, because there's no requirement that the appellant appear at the site visit or indeed in the hearing, and yet commercial properties are notoriously valued according to the income flow that they generate. And I don't know how we get that information. Frankly, it's problematic from my point of view.
It's incumbent upon the property owner to provide whatever they think will be useful information for establishing the value. If the Board of Civil Authority doesn't get anything that they think is useful in establishing the value, then they fine for the assessor.
Okay.
Then
one hopes that the assessor essentially has done that valuation by income stream.
Yeah, I mean, as it says in the materials, the burden is on the property owner. The assessor is deemed to have done their job correctly.
Yeah.
Unless proven otherwise. So, and a Board of Civil Authority is not an expert in valuing property. They are like a jury hearing a malpractice case. You don't know anything about medicine. You're listening to evidence and deciding essentially who's making the better case.
Okay.
So. All right, so if we did
Oliver's.
If we did
9 and 9.
9 OT properties on one date and did the other 9 OT properties on another date, and then we did, what did we say?
7,
7, 8, 8.
Yeah. So I'm looking at Capital Candy. They have 4. If we grouped Capital Candies and then maybe William Koch and throw in.
He's got 3? Does he
He's
have
got
3?
3, and then Donald Dexter, his is a business. The flower shop. We did those 8 in one night. And that's only 3 people, really, that we would have to go through. Sue Kelly, we could group her with some of the single families, maybe? Or the,
how did you group Sue Kelly's?
I put Sue Kelly with William because he's got some multifamilies and she's got multifamilies.
William Koch, you mean?
Yeah. just because then it would just be like you would have.
He's
like,
just got
two
his,
people.
but he's also got his house on there.
Yeah,
But it's,
and then he's also got an office apartment, but then you would just have two people at a meeting.
but it's,
You could, I also put 35 Franklin Street as a two-family. They're just smaller. I mean, you could do it however.
who did you lump with Capital Candy and Bill Koch?
Just Donald Dexter,
Oh,
that's Forget Me Not.
Just, yeah. If you did that one as the last meeting too, if there was anything else you needed to do, like if you just did, your last meeting was just 5, if there was other things you needed to do.
well, we've got 8 there.
8 there?
Capital
Okay.
Candy has 4, Bill Koch has 3, and Dexter has 1.
Okay.
And so the only other multiple is Sue Kelly, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would say too, all of her properties are like very close together.
Yeah.
Except for 35 Branch.
But one of them also is just a vacant lot.
Yes.
515 is
Yes,
just a vacant lot.
yes.
And as you mentioned, there's like nothing to see at 5 Second Street. So if we did Sue Kelly, we did her 4, and then we added 4 others to her. And we don't have any other multiples.
You could lump the 2 condos together.
With
Okay.
Sue.
Active condos.
Yeah,
Yeah, so,
that's the same neighborhood too. And let's squeeze, while we're up in that neighborhood, we could do the Palmisano. Ross, the Rosina Ross, they're up there.
which one is, oh. So if we did Sue Kelly, Milky Major Ross, that's 8, 7.
Yep.
And then the rest we can kind of, if we look at what you had identified as single-family homes, if we did
Cologne, Hutchins, Salvador, Franklin Street, we could do all those in one clump. Cheryl Anderson. Pierce's.
Cook, did we say Cook?
Yeah.
Is there anything else you need a board member like me to chew on and consider, or?
Setting dates,
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
well,
the next thing that we've got to, which is why we're trying to come up with how many meetings we need and then setting dates. Oh. So hang on just a sec. So we've got Cologne, Hutchins, D'Agostino, Cook, Patterson. Who else do we have on that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
did we get Cheryl Anderson?
Okay.
How many?
And then
were
we
you
could
up
do
to?
a couple more.
We could do, Pierce, Neuenfeld,
Okay, that gets us,
where we're at now.
Pierce has done it before, they'll know what to do.
And that leaves Mark Patterson, kind of floating out there. Well, no, because we still have all these single families down here. That'd be another night.
So what we've got left is, we did those, Pastor, right? We don't have her.
Correct. So that would be,
Bedard,
And then, Fisher, Prevost, Martin, Strock. And if we were overloaded on the other one, I mean, I don't know if you got Cheryl Anderson in before, but.
Yes, we got
Okay.
Cheryl with, yeah.
Okay, so that leaves 1, 2, 3, 4.
Did we get, Martin Strong.
So that's,
2, 4, 5.
yeah,
We're
that's
missing,
5, but
we're missing,
then again, a lot of them, Oliver, so.
5. Did we put Pierce in that group?
The last one, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Where did Blondin go? Oh, Fisher, sorry,
Yeah,
Fisher and
yeah.
Blondin, sorry.
Yeah.
Do you have Martin Strock? Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Lucina, we don't have Lucina yet.
And Agostoni, yeah, okay.
Can you read me what you?
Yep, so we've got 2 dates, we've got Oliver split in 2, we'll do 9 and 9. For a date with 8, we've got Colomb, Hutchins, D'Agostino, Cook, Patterson, Anderson, Pierce, Neuenfeld. For another 8, we've got 4 Capital Candy, 3 Bill Koch, and Donnell Dexter. Then for 7, we've got Pastor, Bedard, Fisher, Prevost, Martin Strock, Pierce, Lucina.
You have Pierce on 5 though.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
All right, so
You're missing somebody?
I must be.
Did you got
Hutchins? Oh, you got Hutchins.
Yeah, we
I
got
had
Hutchins.
And then the other group of
Rastelli?
Ristelli.
Ristelli, yes.
Okay.
Missing
Is
him.
Rastelli gonna be 5 or 6? Or,
That would have to replace the doubles.
Let's put him, let's put him in the 8 with the Colomb, Hutchins, D'Agostino,
Okay.
Cook.
Yeah,
put Pierce with the Pastor Bedard?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah.
and then the last one is 4 Sue Kelly, Milky Major Ross.
Okay, that's what.
Now, that of course is assuming they can make it, and, we may end up having to add another date that's like an overflow based on what people's schedules are like. So what we did in the past is we would hold a hearing on a particular night of the week, and then 4 weeks later, we would have the inspection team reports. So that would be 28 days instead of 30 days. So the challenge with that is that because we're doing 6 dates, we can't just do like all the hearings and then all the inspection team reports. Unless we did more than 1 meeting a week. So, that's a possibility of doing more than 1 meeting a week. Or we can, sort of stagger things. We could do 3 hearings and then do 3 inspection team reports and then do 3 more hearings and 3 more inspection team reports. I mean, it stretches it out for 12 weeks. But if we're doing 1 a week. So, I mean, that's a long time. But, I don't know what people's preferences are.
My concern is who's gonna show up. We have a lot of busy people here.
Yeah.
And matching schedules to something that somebody's schedule might already be overbooked.
Yeah.
I mean, look how many showed today compared to how many in the group.
Do we know that none of our other colleagues who are potentially participants are going to be participants? Do we know that?
Did you get any responses from
I got-
anybody who said, I can't be there, but,
Tonight, the only one that says I can't be there was Rosemary, Pedro.
yeah.
And that was it. That was the only one that actually said can't be there tonight. Doing medical. Other than that, I haven't heard from a soul.
So maybe what we should do, because we're not gonna do anything until after Labor Day, period. I mean, we've never done anything before Labor Day because we wait for like everybody to sort of get back into the swing of fall and school and, yeah.
I don't mean to dump this on anybody, but it may be that those of us here could assume responsibility for contacting several of our colleagues and just say, are you in or not? So it doesn't fall all to the city clerk or to the chair.
Well, I think what I would like to do is kind of bounce off of that. What I'd like to do is I would like to write a come to Jesus email to the committee
Okay.
to say, y'all stepped up for this. This is one of the responsibilities associated with being an elected official, whether you're a JP or a city councilor. This is one of the things you're required to do. We need significant participation because we have all these people, blah, blah, blah. We need people to tell us now. Well, first of all, we need you to say you'll do it, and we need to know now, because we're building the schedule, and we really can't build the schedule till we know what sort of numbers we're looking at.
Participation, yeah.
Right, and then,
Yeah.
and that would go out to the whole committee, and then those of you who are here could, then.
I'm just offering myself.
Yeah.
However you want to do that, and I agree, a blanket, these are your responsibilities, please contact either one of you with an affirmative or it's impossible, I will not.
Yeah.
So we know what we're lobbying, with who we're lobbying.
Yeah.
Have you ever done anything with something like a sign-up genius to get people to indicate when they?
We haven't had to. I mean, we've had enough participation in the past. I mean, even, we had one year where we had, God, I don't know, 20, I looked back because I was curious as to what, we had one year where we had over 20 properties. But they were almost all owned by one, they were all little vacant lots up off of Prospect Street, all owned by one.
But during the floods, we had a slew of abatements.
Well, we were doing
we really-
significant,
we
and
really
we had good participation.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
I think, just
and then John,
who
who calmly has his hand in the air.
I'm sorry, go ahead, go ahead.
No, finish, you got started, go ahead.
It would be helpful to know how many people are gonna participate before deciding how we're going to do it.
Yeah.
Because if it's just going to be 6 of us, I'd rather drag it out.
Yeah, oh, exactly.
Because then we know we're going to be meeting the timelines that we need to meet and the deadlines. And I don't know that I want to drag it out, but if that's how we have to do it, then that's how we have to do it.
Yeah.
But I think we kind of need to know,
I
can
agree.
we count on 6 more people?
Right, even if
10 more
6
people.
went one meeting, 6 went to the other, just.
Right.
Well, and that's the other thing
Break it
that
up.
can happen is that, particularly in communities that are following a reappraisal, sometimes what they do is they end up doing split BCA stuff, where they have a group of 6 that hears, or whatever,
Yeah.
And it could be, it may be, once I reach out and start getting some responses that, we've got a group of people that says, yeah, I can commit to Thursday nights, and then another group of people that says, yeah, I can commit to Wednesday nights.
Yeah.
And so maybe there would be, some opportunity to, not everybody is everybody is participating one night a week, except me, Cheryl. But, that the other people who are participating and the ones going out on the inspections, only have to do it one night a week. So I think what makes sense is we have at least an idea of what we'd like to do as far as the number of dates. That once we get a feel from the rest of the board as far as numbers, And I will come down heavy on them, and I will ask those of you that are here to weigh in too, to say, you know, this is, and I would say about half, at least half of the current board has experience doing these. So they understand what's involved, so, but there are a lot of them that don't, so. Yeah, giving them a little, you know, tutorial and then holding their feet to the fire. This is what you signed up for, so. That's all.
At the meeting where the inspection team gives their report, is that when the final decision
Yes.
will be made?
Yep, so what happens is, the inspection team will give its report. There will be one more opportunity for the property owner and for the assessor to make final comments about that particular property. Then that hearing gets closed. And assuming that we hear all the inspection team reports for that night, for, you know, all 7 or 8 properties or whatever, then the body goes into deliberative session, and makes the decisions out of that, so.
Okay,
John?
I would like to speak in favor of what was expressed earlier by yourself, the division of a particular group, how they would group 7s and 8s and the larger ones, to divide that into like some 3s and 3s for the inspection teams, for a few reasons. Number one, because we have such a high, like as also was mentioned, the highest volume ever, and to avoid burnout. And myself just being one, I also imagine there are others that are not experienced in this, and so that would be speaking in favor of spreading that out more for each division.
We try, with the inspection teams, we try to have at least one person who has gone on an inspection team in the past, you know, so that there's somebody experienced with 1 or 2 people who are newer at it, so.
Right.
To try.
I'm listening as long as people speak up.
Okay. Anything else for tonight? I do wish we actually had a schedule set, but it's hard to do it with this many people, so, yeah.
So are we gonna give them a deadline to respond to this email going out?
Yeah, and I don't see doing anything before the school budget
Right.
vote,
Right,
so.
When's the school budget?
15th.
September 15th.
So, yeah, so we'll definitely.
Make that the deadline.
Yeah, hopefully before that.
Tax
but-
day and voting
Taxes
day.
and vote, yeah, right, exactly. It's gonna be a busy day.
Oh, yeah, they will. Just grin and nod.
Okay. Anything else before this body right now? Larry, did you have anything you wanted to add?
No, thank you. I think you did a good job.
Okay. Well, then I would entertain a motion to adjourn. Oh, I'm sorry, to recess.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Good, cool. Yes, and now we recess until it's
Did
done.
anybody look back when we did it 20 years ago? Because I think you were.
I wasn't here. I started in '08. So,
Okay, but you
the
were on
last
the
one-
council when I was mayor part of the time. And
yeah, and the thing is,
that's when the appraisal happened.
I had no understanding when I was on the council
Okay,
that this was part of my responsibility.
oh,